Hello, my name is Julia Parker, and I'm excited to get to know you guys a little bit more through this discussion board. But anyways, to get right to it, my big problem this semester is the unfortunate issue that lowering public school funding is actually hindering the development of our children. So I wanted to first and foremost talk about how this relates to Bronfenbrenner's theory in some ways. That I did for my project that I thought it related with is the microsystem. I really thought that it tied in because lowering public school funding would make schools have to cut after school programs. And the one that I focused on in my assignment this week is a father and a son not being able to go to wrestling practice anymore due to the school cutting that sport. A lot of children use after school time and events to facilitate relationship building with their parents. I know that when I was in school, my dad was my t-ball coach, and that meant a lot to me. I got to interact with him every day after school and see him, and not only that, but interact doing something that I love, and he was teaching me. I really do think that this hinders the development of those relationships and definitely would make some resentment from the child. And they wouldn't be able to learn things like they could from their parent in those moments. So the way that I think that this also ties into behaviorism, again, I do think that the microsystem is the best way to tie these two in with my big problem personally. For instance, because what is behavioralism in and of itself? It's pretty much the observed behaviors that we have being caused and due to external stimuli, and it pretty much just allows you to fully understand an individual's behavior and why they act the way they do. Again, why I'm tying this into Bronfenbrenner's theory and my big problem is exactly in the microsystem. The children learn a lot from their parents in these instances, things such as time management, having to show up for your team, things like that. The law of effect really goes into play here because a child gets rewarded from their parent or from other students, and whoever's facilitating the actual after-school activity is going to reward them for doing good things and punish them for doing bad things. This really would show a child that they need good management skills, good time skills, to stay organized, to be reliable and dependable, and to show up. So I think that taking away these after-school activities not only hinders the microsystem in Bronfenbrenner's theory by not allowing these relationships to flourish as they would, but also with behavioralism because they're not able to learn these traits that they could otherwise. So a way that I think that I would teach my students this in a teaching room in an educational environment, I would want to make a game. I feel like a lot of the things that I learned when I was a child was so easily learned by just playing a little game because I hated PowerPoints. I hated the whole lecture. So I would make a game called Behavioralism. That's what I would call it. And it would be just an easy board game that all students can play. I would set up 4 different sections uh, depending on how big my room size is, how many students are there. And I would pretty much make a bunch of cards that they would draw to get through the board. And each thing that they do in the game has a cause and effect. If they land on a behavioralism, if they land on a behavior spot, they get to draw a behavior. And there are a couple different cards. One would say you shared your toys with a friend, for instance, you get to move forward one. Or you didn't say please to your neighbor, you have to move back a space. This would teach them that doing things that are not morally good could lead to bad punishment, while doing things that are probably morally good, probably better things will lead to a really good thing happening in their, and winning the game. So I really think this would, one, teach them that winning the game is the effect of drawing and behaving well, or losing the game is the fact that you kept drawing bad cards and you kept doing bad things. Anyways, I'm excited to talk to you all this semester. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, and I hope you guys have a great semester. I can't wait to hear all about your big problems.